Hi, now we'll be seeing in this session superficial mycosis. Superficial mycosis, there are of two types, that is surface and cutaneous. So what are all the infection which is caused by the superficial mycosis? It includes pityriasis versicolor, tinea nigra, black pedra, white pedra, dermatophytosis, and candidiasis. So usually the surface mycosis is it's caused it's the infection which is causing the surface dermal layers, whereas the superficial layers of the skin. So the mycosis of this hair, skin, and nails, they are grouped according to the layers affected. So the superficial mycosis are fungal infection of the outermost keratinized layer of the skin or hair shaft, resulting in essentially no pathological changes. So these mycoses are largely cosmetic, involving skin pigmentation or forming nodules along the distal hair shaft, often symptomatic, and the host is usually unaware. So first we will see about the dermatophytosis, which is a common skin infection which is seen. So infection of the skin, hair, and nails are usually grouped by as keratinophilic fungi, which is the dermatophytes. So it usually affects the keratinized layer of the skin. So microsporum, it causes infection of hair and skin, epidermophyton, skin and nail, trichophyton, hair, skin, and nail. So Trichophyta, there are totally 24 species. In Microsporum, there are 16 species, and in Epidermophyton, there are 2 species. So Epidermophyton flocosum and Epidermophyton stockdale. These are the common species. So usually this dermatophytes, it digests the keratin by their enzymes, which is a keratinases. So they're resistant to cyclohexamide, and they are classified into two groups, three groups, depending upon their usual habitat. So anthropophilic, that is humans are usually infected. Trichophyton rubrum, it's a more common species. Geophilic, that is it is present in the soil. Mycosporum gypsum. Then zoophilic, which infects usually animals. That is Mycosporum canis, cats and dogs. And this Mycosporum nanum, that is swine, Trichophyton verrucosum, which infects the horse and swine. Coming to the pathogenesis and immunity. So it can be due to following reasons. So it can be due to contact or trauma associated. So it can be also due to excess moisture and in crowded living conditions. And in cellular immunodeficiency is very low in some people. In those cases also, it is one of the common infection which is caused. The reinfection usually is possible when larger inoculum is needed and the course is usually shorter. Coming to the clinical manifestation, clinical classification, so the infection is named according to the anatomical location which is involved. So Tinea barbae. So Tinea barbae means which infects the beard. So tinea pedis, pedis means foot. So athlete's foot. So in the foot, the tinea corporis, that is the most common, and it infects um, the whole body. That is in the usually it is seen in the trunk and other region. Tinea manum, that is in the hand. Tinea capitis, tinea unguum, tinea cruris. So tinea unguum, that is in the nails, and tinea cruris, that is a jock's itch in the genital areas. So this is tinea corporis. So usually it is an annular lesion where you can see the periphery there is activation, and at the center there is clearing. Tinea pedis, that is in the creases in between the foot toes, you can see the infection. This is tinea unguum where the nails are usually infected. Tinea capitis, that is in the scalp. Tinea cruris, that is jock's itch. Tinea barbae, usually in the beard area. So, as I already mentioned, in the skin, there is usually circular, dry, erythematous, scaly, itchy lesions. In the hair, the typical lesions are cheiron, so it results in scarring alopecia. So, in the hair infection, there are two types, that is cheiron and Fabus. So, cheiron, it's an infection which causes alopecia, that is patchy alopecia can be seen. And in nails, the nails usually are thick and deformed, friable, discolored, and there can be some subungual debris accumulation. Favors has already told you these are boggy lesion, which is the scalp infection. The classical infection is a ringworm lesion. So here in this picture, it is clear. You can see the periphery that it is active, and the center it is cleared. So there can be close human contact. One of the main reason for transmission is close human contact. So it can be sharing of clothes, comb or brushes or bed sheets, that is fomites. Then animal to human contact. So dermatophytid reaction. So it's a hypersensitivity reaction because of this dermatophyte antigen. So it is more common, this dermatophytid it reaction. So how do you diagnose this dermatophyte infection? So basically it is because of the clinical appearance. So clinically there can be annular lesions, annular that is papular lesions which is seen on the skin. It can be usually examined by a Woods lamp. There can be fluorescence. And next is lab diagnosis. So direct microscopic examination by 10 to 25 percentage potassium hydroxide. So ectothrix, endothrix and this hair infection is usually that is ectothrix, that is outside the hair shaft, endothrix within the hair shaft, and this phavic hair. So these are the affected hair, which usually you can pick up with a Woods lamp or with a direct microscopy. So if you see the direct examination, it's by potassium hydroxide mount. So the skin or nail scrapings are just taken and they are mixed with this potassium hydroxide. So this potassium hydroxide KOH usually what it does is it dissolves all the keratin and you can see the fungal element more clearly. So the addition of calcofluor white, so we have various percentages of this potassium hydroxide to uh, to look into various samples. So basically we use 10% potassium hydroxide for skin scrapings and 20 percentage for thicker skin which needs which has more keratin and if the for nails, since there are more keratin content, we use 40 percentage KOH. So we can speed up this process by even slightly heating the KOH if after taking in a test tube and putting a sample into it. So this addition of this calcofluor white and this DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfoxide to potassium hydroxide, and viewing with the fluorescent microscope is recommended. So this DMSO is a non-polar surfactant which aids in clearing of the keratin by making KOH more soluble in the sample. So this is a calcofluor white where you can see the fluorescence. So dermatophytes. So dermatophyte, there is direct detection, direct examination. So this pattern of growth in the infected hair taken directly from the patient is characteristics of some dermatophyte fungi. So as already mentioned, some grow inside the hair shaft, that is endothrix, and some they grow outside the hair shaft, that is ectothrix. So what is the agar which we commonly use? So we use this microbiotics agar, that is adding some antibacterials. Cetrimide we add it since we keep it for longer time. So it takes longer duration for growth. And Sabarots dextrose agar is the agar which we use. So coming to the colony characteristics. So in dermatophytes, you have this fruiting bodies which are macroconidium and microconidium. So so in microsporum, if you see the macroconidia, it is usually fusiform. In epidermophyton, it is clavate. Trichophyton, it is cylindrical and single clusters are seen. So the physiological test which we do is in vitro hair perforation and the special amino acid and vitamin requirements are needed. Urea hydrolysis, then growth on the milk solid glucose medium. So these are the special medias which the test which we do, but these are not used nowadays. So in microscopy, so what are the characteristics of these three species? That is Trichophyton, Microsporum, and Epidermophyton. Trichophyton is usually rare, thin-walled, and smooth Macroconidia, whereas Microconidia is abundant in Trichophyton. Microsporum, it is abundant, thick-walled, rough, and in Epidermophyton, it is abundant, smooth, and it's absent. So if you see the colony morphology, it is uh, red, that is Trichophyton rubrum is velvety red pigment on the reverse. So that's why the name is rubrum. And that is teardropped microconidia, and its pencil-shaped macroconidia. It is usually seen in Trichophyton rubrum. In Trichophyton mentogrophytes, white to tan, cottony or powdery colonies are seen. Cigar-shaped macroconidia with terminal rat-tail filament. The Trichophyton tonsurans, where you can see powdery, clean, creamy yellow with central furrow. Then thick walled irregular macroconidia are seen. Trichophyton sconleni. So later I'll show you all the pictures. It is waxy and brownish. Then hyphal swellings, chlamydiophores, and this phavic chandelier types are seen in Trichophyton sconleni. In Trichophyton violation, so as the name suggests, it is violet to purple in color. It is a very slow growing fungi, and you can see the distorted hyphae, and this conidia is usually very rare. Then Microsporum adoni, so it is usually velvety, brownish, slow growing, thick walled chlamydospores. Mycosporum canis, it is cottony orange pigment on the reverse. Spindle-shaped macroconidia with up to 15 septa. Mycosporum gypsum, it's powdery buff color. Thin wall macroconidia with 4 to 6 septa are seen. So this E. flocosum, that is Epidemophyton flocosum, you can see yellowish green powdery, which is the colony morphology, and club-shaped macroconidia in clusters are seen in this. So later I'll show the pictures. So in Taenia capitis, so Trichophyton and Mycosporum species are more common. Taenia barbae, Trichophyton rubrum, Mentogrophytes and Verrucosum are more common. In Taenia corporis, Trichophyton rubrum and other dermatophytes. Taenia imbricata, you can see Trichophyton concentricum and Taenia cruris. Echinococcus, there's Epidermophoron flocosum, Trichophyton rubrum, and Mentogrophytes are more common. So Taenia manum, Trichophyton rubrum, Mentogrophytes, and Epidermophyton flocosum, manum. So if you see, Trichophyton is a more common species. So in Trichophyton, in Taenia manum, Trichophyton rubrum, Epidermophyton flocosum, and Mentogrophytes are more common. And in Pedis, rubrum, Mentogrophytes, and Epidermophyton flocosum. Fagus, if you see Charles Conley, Violatium, and M. gypsum are more common. And in Kirion, Verrucosum, Trichophyton verrucosum and Mentogrophytes are the common species. So these are the um, colony morphology of Trichophyton. So usually they are the powdery colonies, and you can see the large, smooth, thin-walled, septate, pencil-shaped hyphae. And here you can see these are the microconidia and macroconidia, that is the pencil-shaped macroconidia are seen. And these are the in Trichophyton rubrum, where you can see many microconidia. So it is a spindle-shaped macroconidia which is seen in Microsporum species. And in Microsporum gypsum also, we can see this spindle shape. And this is Epidermophyton flocosum. So this is a bifurcated hyphae with multiple smooth club-shaped macroconidia are seen. This is club shape. So already I told you which is more common. So trichophyton generally hair, skin and nails. Microsporum, scalp, that is hair, skin, whereas epidermophyton, skin and nails. So you need to know these more common. So how do you treat dermatophyte? So it can be topical as well as oral. So topical are the meconazole, cotrimazole, that is econazole, terbinafine, oral cresofulvin, ketoconazole, itraconazole, then terbinafine. So far we saw about all the dermatophytic skin infection. Next, we'll be seeing the non-dermatophytic infection. So you have the nail infection, which is more common. So it is caused by the Scopulariopsis, Onychocala, Fusarium, Acremonium, and Aspergillus. So the surface cutaneous infection also includes your that is surface layer, that is stratum corneum. So the keratophilic layer will be caused, infection is caused by dermatophytes, whereas the superficial layers in just limiting to the stratum corneum is caused by the other infection, which includes the pityriasis fascicular, commonly caused by Malassezia furfur. So it's a lipophilic yeast. So it's hyperpigmented, or it causes hyperpigmented or depigmented maculae on the chest, back, arms. So usually it's more common fungi and it affects almost 60% of the population. So, so you can see this follicle, it can present as either hyperpigmented or hypopigmented macular lesions. So this is a Malassezia folliculitis. So where does it usually infect is the trunk, back, and also it can cause seborrheic dermatitis, which is usually caused by Malassezia globosa. Next, coming to pityriasis, vesicular systemic infection. So you can, how do you diagnose this? You can diagnose with skin scrapings, where you can see short yeast cells. That is, you can see the cells along with some short hyphae. So treatment is with topical antifungal or oral ketoconazole can be given. This is pityriasis versicolor. The areas of hyperpigmentation on the back. So this is a spaghetti and meatball appearance in KOH mount. So tinea nigra. Tinea nigra is a superficial chronic infection of the stratum corneum. So it's caused by Horshey wernicke. It's frequent in topical areas. So it has brownish macule on the palms, fingers, and face. The septate hyphae with yeast cells. So direct examination with KOH mount can be done. So the fungal infection of the scalp hair it's a black pedra where it's caused by Pedra horshei. So you can see discrete brown to black nodules on the hair. So in the microscopy, we can see septate pigmented hyphae and unicellular and fusiform ascospores with polar filaments. So we can see the brown to black color colonies. So topical salicylic acid azoles and creams can be seen, can be given. So this is a culture of the fungi, Pedra hortiae. White Phaedra is fungal infection of the facial, axillary, or genital hair. It is also caused by trichosporon. So you can see yellowish nodules loosely attached to the hair. So in the microscopy, we can see the intervened septa, septate hyphae, blasto, and arthroconeria. So azoles are the topical treatment which is used. This is the white Pedra caused by Trichosporon brigili. This is a culture of Trichosporon brigili. So far we saw the surface and cutaneous skin infection. Surface includes your black Petra, white Petra, Malassezia furfur, that is Pityriasis versicolor, and the superficial fungal infection is mostly caused by the dermatophytes. So next coming to the other infection, which includes candidiasis. So the common infection, usually candida infection, is seen in the intertriginous skin. So the most common species which are affected, which infects are Candida albicans, Guillermondi, cruzi, Parapsilosis, and tropicalis. And usually this nappy rash, this Candida balanitis, and Candida folliculitis, these are the most common. So this Candida albicans, usually if you see, they infect the superficial skin where there is a previous pre-existing lesions. There can be budding cells of various size. If you see the, um, it forms a white pasty colony on the colony morphology. So the Candida albicans, the more common infection which is caused is the thrush vulvovaginal infection, then cutaneous candidiasis. The thrush is usually white adherent growth on the mucosal areas, and vaginal infection are also more common. And cutaneous candidiasis where it can infect the moist skin. So how do you diagnose it? So the diagnosis usually is made with either you can take a skin scrapings, which you can uh, grow onto a, you can see on the KO in the mount, the wet mount, or you can do a gram stain. So so you can grow this Candida, it is a true fungi, onto Sabrodes dextrose agar, where you can see creamy or pasty colonies, which is seen, and then we can do a gram stain. So so usually it's a treatable condition. So topical antifungals can be given. So it depends upon the area where the lesion is present. So suppose it is present in the skin, so we can just give the uh, topical creams. Suppose if it is in the vaginal or other areas, vaginal area, we can give a suppository or a topical fungal cream. So it will be more effective in that case. So in a severe cases, we can give oral antifungal. So these are the pictures where you can see the oral thrush, and that is a white a patch which can be seen on the skin. Then this is a mucocutaneous candidiasis that is in the skin of the hand. So mycotic keratitis, these are the fungal infection of the cornea of the eye. It may be caused by numerous filamentous fungi. So the normal flora is, so it can even cause fungal blindness, and it can be fatal. So usually it is caused due to post-traumatic infection. So caused by saprophytic fungi, Fusarium alternaria, then Histoplasma capsulatum. And the clinical finding is a corneal following a corneal ulcer. This is Penicillium, Rhizopus, Fusarium. This is Aspergillus species. So you can give 5% topical natamycin for these conditions. Thank you. So far we just saw about the supersurface cutaneous infection that is caused by superficial is caused by dermatophytes, surface by uh, black pedra, white pedra, then tinea versicolor, then other infection which includes um, the other infection due to candidiasis and the corneal ulcers. These are the surface superficial fungal infection. Thank you.